waste pipe is the big black tire.
Yes.
That one is a stuff last, and when it starts to crack, is there anything to do? You just gotta get rid of it.
You'll know that it's going bad when you start to see rust. Like you'll see little stalagmites of rust or stalactites. I can't remember which goes with what. But you'll see them start to come from little drips. When you do, don't touch that pipe, and it's time to replace it, because at that point, if you even grab it, your finger could go right through it. It also is like galvanized, and it also rusts from the inside. Not as quickly because it's not always holding water, but it does basically do the same thing.
Now, so I've got an attic built out, somebody put a water tank in there and then built around it, and so I've got to get it out, and the space is really small. What is an appropriate place to put a tankless, because if you're looking for something small profile?
You can put a tankless in an attic if you have the right clearances and the right place to put it. Typically, we put the tanklesses, if you want an exterior unit, we typically will put them also where their clearances are good. It can't be within X amount of feet of a window, within X amount of feet of your air conditioning compressor, and things like that, because it does vent to the outside, and if there's anything like that around it, it can suck those fumes back in. So we typically try not to put it, anywhere around that stuff. The interior units typically are mounted on the inside of an exterior wall, so they can just penetrate the wall and vent there. However, they do make vent kits for longer installations. Like if you need to put it over here and you're got to go out over there, it is possible.
Okay,
So it all just depends on the clearances. Yeah, I think it's like 3 feet from any window or compressor or anything like that. So usually if you're 3 feet away, top and sides, you're usually pretty good to go. And not everybody's a good candidate for a tankless. I mean, you have to, you have to have, your gas pipe has to be the right size. We've seen so many tankless water heaters piped in 1/2-inch pipe, and that's just wrong. And not as far, I'm talking about for gas pipe. It's not enough. What does it have to be? It should be 3/4 inch. The volume of gas that it pulls is higher than the typical water heater, which is why it can heat that water on demand.
So then for historic houses, are you able to find smaller tanks? The ones that are available now seem to be larger than the space.
If you're talking about the little small crawl spaces, they do not make a 3-foot gas water heater anymore. With the new safety regulations, all new gas water heaters have a sealed combustion chamber. That just means that instead of being able to put your hand in there and light it now, you have to press the little button and pray it lights. The answer to something like that is, if you only have this much space available, convert it. I know it sounds terrible to go from gas to electric, but sometimes you have no choice. Put in an electrical line and get a squat electric heater, and then you can still use that space, or get a tankless. Yes, ma'am.
I have a cousin who has a brand new house with a tankless water heater, and it does not seem to be adequate for the upstairs showers. Could that pipe coming in, they're over in South Carolina, so I don't know what the code is, but could the gas pipe coming in be the issue?
It could be the issue. It could not be allowing it to get to its full potential. It could be the settings on the dip switches. The tankless heaters typically come preset at a high limit of 120, and then in order to get anything higher than that, there's little, I don't know, computer people know what dip switches are. There's these little things that you pull off and reconfigure and put back on to raise that temperature. Also, in the wintertime, and this is every house, the incoming water temperature is colder. So whether it's an electric heater, a gas conventional heater, or a tankless heater, they have to work harder to get that colder water up to the temperature that you want. So, yeah. If it's piped in 1/2-inch pipe, it can take a long time as well. Like if it's supposed to be 3/4 inch, okay? Some places don't have code for that, so they do pipe them smaller. She needs to see what kind of pipe she's got, what size it is, and all that.